Greetings everyone, I am Adis, and today I will be doing another note block tutorial on the 16 different instrument sounds a note block can make. So without further ado, let's begin. So I do not have these note blocks or these different instruments in any particular order. It's just lined up the way I placed them down. So I will start off with the banjo sound that's made by hay bale under a note block, and it sounds like this. The next one I have is like an 8-bit sound, and that's used by putting an emerald block under a note block, and this is what it sounds like. The next one I have is pling. I mean, I don't really have a good way to describe this sound, but it doesn't sound like any kind of instrument, so pling is the best thing that there really is to describe it, and this is what it sounds like. But this sound is made by putting glowstone under a note block. Now the next sound is a cowbell, and this is made by putting soul sand under a note block. And this is what it sounds like. The next sound is the didgeridoo. I mean, in reality, the didgeridoo doesn't really have different notes in its instrument. It's more of a drone instrument. It only plays one note, but this is Minecraft. We can make didgeridoos have more notes, I guess. So this is made by using a whole pumpkin, not a jack-o'-lantern, not a carved pumpkin, but just a solid pumpkin, and this is what it sounds like. The next one is the iron xylophone, and that's used by placing a iron block under a note block. This is what it sounds like. The next one is a xylophone. This is made by putting a bone block under a note block, and this is what it sounds like. So the next one is the chime sound, and that's made by putting packed ice under a note block. Not any other kind of ice, just packed ice, not blue ice, not ice, but packed ice. And this is what it sounds like. The next one is the bell, and that's made by putting a gold block under a note block. And this is what it sounds like. Next sound is the guitar, and this is made by putting any kind of wool underneath. You can use any color, it will make the same sound. And this is what it sounds like. So the next one is the piano sound or the harp sound, whichever you prefer to call it. You could use it either way. And this is what it sounds like. Now there's actually a longer list of what can be under the note block and be able to make this sound. So you could use nothing. You could use dirt, you can use a diamond block, really any form of dirt, podzol, you can use sponges, you could use a wet or dry, you can use a lazuli, you can use jack-o'-lantern or carved pumpkin, you can use watermelon, snow, mycelium, maybe a cactus, but it might be considered an invisible block, so it'd be about the same as putting it in the air. And that's another version of the air. So you can use The blue ice, you can use the kelp block, the slime. Now, these aren't stone. These are actually silverfish eggs. So if in the your Minecraft survival world, you can actually put a note block on top and it will make a piano or harp sound on a silverfish egg. So that's a cool little trick if you didn't know that, to protect you in your mining. I don't know when you'd carry a note block whilst mining, but there you go. You can also use an iron bar. Anvils also work of any kind, no matter how broken they are. Command blocks will also work with that. You also have redstone block, door, redstone lamp, and yeah, and even shulker boxes. Like, again, some of these might be considered invisible blocks, so yeah. And pistons also work, and honey and honeycomb also work to make this piano or harp sound. So there's a bit of a list, like pretty much everything else that isn't these other ones I'm about to show you, that will work to make the piano sound or the harp sound. So the next one is the bass drum. It mostly just sounds like you breaking a stone block, and that's what it sounds like. So this one is made by pretty much any hard, solid block in Minecraft. So, like the per blocks, and basically the different kinds of stones, quartz, concrete, terracotta, the smoothed and polished andesite, diorite, or granite, and those kinds of things. The ore blocks are also considered solid. The cobblestone, bedrock, sandstone, brick, obsidian, red sandstone, smooth stone, nether brick, netherite. Yeah, you get the idea. Just pretty much all these different hard, solid blocks. I guess the slabs, though, I don't think that wood one's supposed to be there, so I'm just gonna break that. Because I believe that was updated, so it doesn't make a stone sound anymore. Although that might have been petrified wood when it was around. I don't know. But yeah, pretty much just any of these hard blocks, even the coral. The coral will make that sound as well, and these also will. So the end portal stuff, ender chest, apparently also makes that bass drum sound, as well as the enchanting table, the different kinds of fences, and the polished terracotta, and these other redstone components, the dropper or the hopper and stuff like that. No, that's a dropper. I don't know. It's been a while. And these also will make the stone sound, and apparently this dead coral also will make the stone sound. So that's kind of interesting. So yeah, that's the list of the things that will make the bass drum sound. Now the bass is like an upright bass. So this is what it sounds like. So kind of like a pluck almost, like, or I guess it could be a guitar bass too. That's just used by that sound is made by using the different kinds of wood blocks. So you can use like bookcase or the bookshelves, which I don't know why you do that because that's expensive, but you can use the different colors, the different kinds of wood. You can even use a note block. It is wood, so it does make that sound. the different kinds of peeled bark, or the stripped logs, the normal logs, the even more fancy logs are just full like that. The planks work, the stairs work, chests, crafting bench, the disc player, the mushroom blocks, and yeah, what are these? Oh, banners. Apparently banners make that sound too. Kind of weird. I mean, I don't know why you use that. It sounds a little complicated, but I guess if you don't have anything else. Signs work, fence posts work, buttons and trapdoors work too for some reason. You also have the fence doors, the doors. Funny thing about the daylight sensors is this actually would take away from sounds in previous updates. So, like, it wouldn't play a note block at all, but that changed, and I guess now it's a bass sound as well. The other things like the barrel and the cartography table and the fletching table and the smithing table and the loom, that works. The beehives also work, and the campfire, that works as well. And those are the different blocks that will give you that bass sound. Now the next thing is click. And yeah, that's what it sounds like. This is used by glass. It's putting glass underneath a note block, and that will give you that click noise. And you can use any kind of any color of glass. The sea lantern will give you that sound as well, and also the different glass panels will give you that click sound as well. So the next one we have is the snare. This is what it sounds like. So this is made by using any different kind of sand and even gravel. And you can also use concrete powder. It will also give you that same sound. And that will give you the snare drum sound, or the snare. The next one is the flute. Now, I don't think this sounds like a flute. To me, it sounds more like a synth, but to each his own. This is what it sounds like. And this is made by putting some clay underneath a note block, and it will give you that sound. Now, hardened clay will not work for this, so it's best to keep that in mind. So I have shown you all the different instruments. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to play each instrument, just playing all the notes all the way through. So here we go. So this one is the chime, and this is what it sounds like when you play it all the way through. So there you go. Next one we have is the bone block. So this one is the xylophone. So the next one is the bell with the gold blocks. So the next one is the clay for that flute or synth sound. The next one is the hay bale for the banjo sound. The next one is that 8-bit with the emeralds. The next one is glowstone with the pling? Whatever you want to call it. The next one is the soul sand for that cowbell sound. The next one is the pumpkin with the didgeridoo sound. The next one is the iron block with the xylophone sound. The next one is wool block with the guitar sound. And this one I just used dirt for, but this will be the piano or harp sound. The next one is the hard blocks for that bass drum sound. And I just used stone for this one. A little hard to tell with that, but I promise it changes. Alright, the next one is the bass sound with the wood. The next one is glass for that click sound. And here we go. Last but not least, we have the sand to create that snare sound. And so there you have it, everyone. That's all the different sounds that a note block can make, all the different instruments. And yeah, I hope that this video gave you everything that you needed to learn for the note blocks and the different instruments if you wanted to create your own songs and have a lot of variety in your instruments. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. But until next time, I bid you all a farewell.